Here are 3 key reasons. Our strength has been recognized by the National Institutes of Health, which has awarded us 3 training programs in the area of pharmacology.
I am a neuropharmacologist, and so my lab is very interested in studying the signaling mechanisms in the brain that are related to neuropsychiatric diseases.
My lab focuses on nanotechnology and biomedical engineering. We develop nanoparticles to target drugs directly to the sites of disease. And we also make nanosensors, which are used for diagnostic assays and also drug development assays to find new drugs.
In particular, we're really interested in diseases like alcohol use disorder, other drug use disorders, and anxiety and affective disorders. And so we're really interested in understanding how those disorders are co-expressed and what might be the mechanisms that contribute to the co-expression of those diseases.
So everything we do relates to RNA and the pharmacology around RNA, small molecules that bind RNA. This is a small molecule that we designed to bind this RNA, and when this molecule binds, this RNA starts to glow inside cells. So this is our RNA mimic of green fluorescent protein that we designed that allows us to study RNA diseases, RNA aggregation, RNA disorders inside all sorts of different cells.
So I was initially really interested in Weill Cornell just because of the world-class research that goes on in this institution, as well as the wide range of potential mentors in the pharmacology department, as well as other departments that I could be excited to work with.
The sheer amount of faculty that we have here in the pharmacology program, and you just can't, no other school beats this.
It's honestly crazy how many labs you can choose from. So that was probably the biggest reason, is that there are just so many labs and just amazing research going on at Weill Cornell and Memorial Sloan Kettering.
I was initially really drawn to this program because of the partnership with Sloan Kettering and kind of the focus on cancer research here.
Look at institutions where there's science being done that excites you and that you think that you could be excited about for several years. A PhD is a long time.
I knew going into grad school that I really wanted to do some form of cancer research, so this really was a perfect fit for me.
My research is focusing on cancer epigenetics and chromatin architecture and how that influences gene expression.
Our graduate program courses are focused on pharmacology and not general biomedicine. We also have a drug development course taught by experts and scientists working at leading drug companies.
We have an entrepreneurship program where people can learn right from the venture capitalists and the entrepreneurs and CEOs how to take technologies right from a lab and move it to the clinic and industry.
Our graduate program provides each student much individual attention and support, letting all of our students achieve their maximal potential.
Being a woman of color, I really value going to a school where I feel welcome and where I have resources to support me. We have an Esprit de Corps program, which is a diversity group led by Dr. Marcus Lambert and Avellino, the program manager for the diversity office.
I spent a couple years on the Grad Student Executive Council, and this is kind of the student council for the grad school. And I was the vice president and the treasurer, in addition to being an orientation chair a few years ago. And so I think it's a great thing our school has this student council set up for grad students to be able to express how they feel and bring these concerns to the administration and really affect change for our students.
I really enjoyed since being here is how much they support women in STEM. For example, my pharmacology cohort, my first year was the majority female, and I work with a female mentor. I have women on my committee. So that's been just really wonderful to see that kind of leadership in that area.
I got involved with Esprit de Corps last year as a first year, and Basically what they do is they match up second years with first years as a mentor. So my Esprit de Corps mentor was extremely helpful last year in helping me adjust to rotations and just like in general graduate school life.
We have a mentorship program for the first years where you're paired with one of the course directors and a very senior faculty member of the Pharm program. And they really advise you on rotations and whatever problems you may have. And so for me, my mentor was Dr. John Blennis, and he still is like one of my closest mentors.
There are multiple classes you take during your first year that when you're a second year and above, you have the chance to TA, like chemical biology, systems pharmacology. And I found it a really rewarding and just a great opportunity. Not only does it allow me to get to know the incoming class of graduate students and get to bond with them and get to know their names and their faces, but it has really prepared me for a career in academia.
We have all of these experts in different fields, but everyone is highly interactive and collaborative. So we all become better researchers by interacting with each other.
Apart from the many spectacular pharmacology labs, you can also rotate in any lab outside of the pharmacology program.
Graduate students have the opportunity to rotate and join labs of lots of faculty, and they also benefit from the interactive nature between the labs.
I tell the people in my lab to go and talk to people in other labs routinely. We know that we have one part of a solution, but when we can go and talk to a clinician and find out exactly how we can target a disease, that's really where the magic happens.
The environment is so unique to have 3 universities right next to each other: Cornell, Sloan Kettering, Rockefeller. The number of faculty, the number of postdocs, the number of graduate students, the number of core facilities, seminars, it's incredible. And so the intellectual environment here is unparalleled.
There are an extraordinary number of different career paths open to a student after they achieve a PhD in pharmacology.
The more traditional route that people often consider is academia, and Weill Cornell has an enormous amount of really fantastic support in this area. For example, a big part of academia is applying for grants. So I've personally found working with Weill Cornell's grant specialist to be incredibly helpful.
Another option is to kind of do a similar thing, but in the biotech pharma industry, where you can kind of have a postdoc in the biotech industry and lead a lab there.
They can work for the Food and Drug Administration, and they can carry out consulting.
If you're a student who is not just interested in the science, but also the way that industry impacts drug development and pharmacology, this is really a cool program because we have a drug development course, we have an entrepreneurship program, and many students come in and go in the faculty track, but they also go into things like biotech equity, patent law, starting companies.
Well, one of my favorite events being chair of the pharmacology program is the graduation. And it gives me such joy to watch the students cross the stage. They've worked so hard to achieve their PhDs. And it's just such a beautiful ceremony. It makes me cry. I'm almost going to cry now.
At our first year, we really bonded through all the classwork and just spending journal clubs and seminars together. There's so many opportunities to spend time with your classmates, and it really creates this feeling of community.
The faculty and the administration are very responsive over email. So if you're interested in the pharmacology program, I highly recommend that you reach out.
I hope you'll join us here at Weill Cornell.